Hello everyone. So, nagkaroon din ako ng time para mag-video at i-discuss itong isa sa mga remaining topics for midterms, which is the self in Western and Eastern thoughts. This topic actually is part of the anthropological perspective of the self, pero nakahiwalay siya kasi nakafocus siya more on the perspective of the self, um, emphasizing the influence of culture and religion. So, let's get into it. Ayan. So, narito yung mga learning objectives or target that we should or we must achieve after discussing this lesson. So, first, to differentiate the concept of self according to the Western thought against the Eastern or the Oriental perspective. Tandaan ninyo ha, pag sinabi nating Eastern, the other term for Eastern is Oriental. While for Western, ang other term yan is Occidental. Ayan, para dagdag knowledge lang. Explain the concept of knowledge as found in the Asian thoughts. And lastly, to create a representation of the Filipino self. So, let's get to the division of the world according to the different directions that we have here in the representation. Kung makikita niyo sa mapa, na-divide yung map into three parts: the west part, the east part, and of course the middle part. But this representation is actually outdated. Ang ginagamit na lang po natin ngayon yung dalawa na lang, the west and the east part of the world. Pero noon, they included the middle part of the world uh, as part of the division. Pero ngayon, ito na yung ginagamit natin. So, why do we have this kind of division sa ating mundo? So, this division is because of the differences between the cultural beliefs, the lifestyle, and the progression between these two regions. So, as we all know, the Western world or the Western region is more on individualism, personal freedom, and they mostly believe in rationalism or what we call as ano, rationality. Mas naniniwala ang mga tao sa Western region sa mga bagay-bagay na susuportahan ng knowledge at ng reason. Habang sa Eastern world naman, mas naniniwala sila sa mga bagay na nakabase sa religion at saka sa belief ng mga tao o dun sa religion nila, okay? So, di lang yon sa Eastern world compare sa Western world, sila ay mas more on collectivism. Pag sinabi natin collectivism, they believe that their environment or their surrounding has a crucial influence or impact on their lives, and that they believe that in order for them to progress, they need the help of other people. So, parang interdependent sila sa ibang mga tao compared to the Western world. Ayan. So, with that, alam din natin na sa Eastern world naniniwala sila sa social, harmony, and of course, interdependence. Kaya kung makikita nyo yung pagkakaiba ng culture ng Western at ng Eastern world, especially dun sa part na yung part na yung pag mag-18 na yung mga anak ng isang pamilya. In the Western world, we all know that they are seen to be independent. Kailangan, hindi naman mandatory, pero parang it's a social convention for them or a norm sa proper way for them to move out sa mga bahay nila and to start living independently. Habang sa Eastern world naman, kahit magkasawa na't lahat, um, naninirahan pa rin sila o tumitira pa rin sila sa mga parents nila because it's part of our culture that we value kinship, we value our family much, uh, na lahat ng mga gagawin natin ay nakadepende sa pamilya natin. So, yun yung isa sa mga pinagkaiba ng Western at saka ng Eastern world. So, mamaya we will dig deeper on their differences as we go through our lesson. Alright. So, first, uh, different culture and varying environment. Saan na yun? Yan. Different cultures and varying environment tend to create different perception of the self. Sinasabi lang dito na um, even though magkakalapit yung mga places sa isang bayan o sa isang bansa, hindi natin maaalis na magkakaiba sila ng culture or may variation dun sa culture na kinalakhan nila because um, there are so many factors that affects the development of culture within a place or within a region. So let's just take a look at here in the Ilocos region. So kahit magkakalapit o kahit nasa iisang region, ang provinces ng Pangasinan, ng La Union, ng Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, magkakaiba sila ng mga cultures na pinaniniwalaan. And with that, magkakaiba din ng perception ng self yung mga taong naninirahan dito. So, we have discussed sa anthropology that culture is part of our identity and it is one of the factors which alters our personality or it's one factor na masyadong influence ng pagkilala natin sa sarili natin. And with that, knowing na nakabase yung personality natin with our culture, masasabi natin na sa pagkakaiba-iba ng mga kultura sa bawat places sa Region 1, magkakaiba din yung personality na de-develop sa atin. Okay? Paano ba? Paano ba natin differentiate yung mga taga La Union at saka taga Ilocos Sur na magkatabi lang yung province? Pwede natin may differentiate yung dalawang provinces na ito with their historical and geographical factors. Kung makikita natin yung La Union, knowing na katabi nito is Baguio, um, Pangasinan, which are tourism o tourist-driven places, na isasama na rin yung La Union, knowing na marami din siyang mga environment or natural and man-made tourism tourist spots na siyang nagpapalago ng kanilang ekonomiya at doon naapektuhan yung kultura at yung tradisyon na meron yung mga citizens nila. So they are more on uh diverse origin and tourism-driven economy. Compare naman sa Ilocos Sur, mas nakafocus yung mga citizen nito sa pag-value ng kanilang mga historical places, mga historical areas na meron ang Ilocos Sur. Knowing that Ilocos Sur is rich with um, heritage sites at saka mga monumental places na part ng ating history, nasasama na rin yung mga taong naninirahan dito with developing a more historical Ilocano identity compared to La Union. Okay? So kung i-summarize natin, si La Union sila yung parang mas progressive yung personality nila, yung Ilocano identity nila kasi they are more diverse and they are more economically driven than Ilocos were. Uh, compare sa Ilocos Sur na they are more valuing their historical origin and enriching yung mga ganitong aspect ng ating society kaysa sa um, yes, we are Ilocos Sur is also progressive in terms of economy pero kung i-compare natin siya with La Union na um, mas mas open kumbaga sa economic changes and tourism driven initiatives. Yun yung pinagkaiba nung dalawa. Sana naintindihan niyo yung explanation ko. And the next, The self is a concept that answers the question, who am I? So, the self, knowing the self, understanding the concept of the self, you will be able to understand the question, who am I? So, when you ask yourself, who are you or who am I, you should know uh, the different concept that is encompassing the term self. Ano nga ba yung meron sa self? So, that is why we are studying this kind of concepts na napakarami, from philosophical to sociological to anthropological. And next topic, we have psychological perspective. So we need to study this for us to understand deeply the meaning or the concept of the self, for us to answer this very existentialistic question na who am I? So, um, kung sa iba, irrelevant yung mga concept na pinag-aaralan natin, bakit ba natin kailangan pag-aralan yung I act therefore I am, I think therefore I am. Lahat yan ay importante para mas makilala natin yung ating sarili. When it comes to really knowing ourselves. Ayan. So, both Western and Eastern traditions try to explain the human person, but they emphasize different aspects. So, again, as we have mentioned a while back, magkaiba yung tradition o yung culture na kinamulatan ng mga taga-Western at saka mga taga-Eastern region. So, they really emphasize the explanation of the concept of the self, pero magkaiba sila ng technique. So, sabi natin kanina, yung mga Western, they are more on rationalistic approach, kung saan mas naniniwala sila sa mga bagay na, na nabibigyan ng reason at saka na baback upan ng knowledge or ng scientific explanation. So they are more objective people. Kaya nga um, yung mga modern philosophers natin, they tend to explain the self through experiments, through rationalization, and coming up with evidence na magsosuporta ng mga theories nila. Whereas Eastern traditions, whether we like it or not, our culture, our personal identity is based on the religion or the cultures that our region is embracing. Okay? So, halos lahat, uh, initiatives, or our motivations, our motivations, lahat-lahat yon ay um, based sa ating religion, culture, traditions, and beliefs. So, if we say Western thoughts, they are more on individual uniqueness. Habang sa Eastern thought naman, they emphasize interconnectedness or being a collective people. Ayan. Medyo wala na. Ayun na, ayun. It must be reiterated that while countries who are geographically closer to each other may share commonalities, there are also a lot of factors that create differences. Kaya yung sabi natin kanina, in the Philippines alone, each region may have a similar or varying perception regarding the self. So, let's take a look at ano na lang, yung mga kapatid nating Badjao sa Mindanao, mga kapatid nating Banjaw sa Mindanao. Ang nakalakhan nila na environment kung saan sila lumaki, yung malapit sa dalampasigan o malapit sa mga anyong tubig, most specifically sa karagatan, na halos yung mga bahay nila, kung hindi nasa mismong bangka, nakatayo mismo dun sa dalampasigan. No? So, yung mga bahay nila, may apat na kawayan lang dyan na nakatusok sa mismong sand na napapalibutan ng tubig. So, most likely, everything about them is connected with their environment. Yung personality nila, yung hanap buhay nila, the practices that they are doing for all of their lives ay konektado sa environment na meron sila. So, dahil din doon naniniwala sila dun sa ano, dun sa uh, um, kasabihan or yung mantra na everything that we need is provided by the nature or by their environment. So, dun sila halos naniniwala na kung gutom sila, sisisid lang sila sa dagat, lalabas lang sila ng bahay, sisisid sa sa tubig, may makukuha na silang isda and that's it. Iluluto na nila and ayun, a proof that everything is given by their environment. So kung sasabihin yun ng mga badyaw sa mga kagaya nating taga Kapatagan o naninirahan sa mga cities or rural areas, parang imposible kung isipin, hindi ba, na kung lahat din lang naman ng bagay na kailangan natin ay ibibigay ng surroundings natin o ng environment natin, parang useless nang magtrabaho at pumasok araw-araw sa trabaho para kumita ng pambili ng mapagkain, hindi ba? So, their ideology of dependency in their environment and us working things out, working hard for us to get everything we need and we want, dun nagkakaiba ng perception of the self. So knowing na nasa iisang bansa tayo, magkakaiba pa rin yung perception natin regarding ourself. Hindi lang yan sa hindi lang culture based yung pagkakaiba natin, kahit din sa sa biological makeup na meron sa isang tao. Like for example, yung example ko dun sa isang klase ko na bakit magkaiba yung body mass figure or body mass figure ng mga taga Kapatagan at mga taga Upland. Ano? Or ano yung ano yung pinagkaiba sa skin complexion ng mga taga Kapatagan at taga Upland, knowing na magkatabi lang yung province o minsan nga magkatabi din lang yung municipality, pero magkaiba yung physical attributes o biological makeups nila. O balik tayo dun sa Badjao at saka sa mga taga-rural areas. I think one research has proven na mas malaki yung parang organ na ginagamit ng mga tao sa paghinga sa ilalim, ay hindi, hindi, yung pag-hold ng breath pag nasa ilalim ng dagat, mas malaki yung organ na yon ng mga Badjao sa Mindanao kaysa sa mga naninirahan sa Kapatagan o yung mga umaasa sa sa agricultural o sa farming or sa mga na land-based na environment. So, uh, knowing na ganon yung practices o yung everyday life ng mga Badyaw na nag-e-evolve. Sabihin natin nag-e-evolve o na-enhance nila yung pang-araw-araw na ginagamit nila sa survival, which is I think that's the lungs or ang tawag doon. Kung hindi man lungs, basta anything that they use in breathing underwater, mas expanded or mas enlarged yung meron sa mga Badyaw kaysa sa mga nasa Kapatagan. So, ano pa ba? Mm, ito, punta tayo dito. Countries. Countries who are geographically closer to each other may share commonalities. Excuse me. China and Philippines is quite geographically close. Pero yes, they share commonalities, especially when it comes to valuing families or kin ties. Pero magkaiba sila ng kultura na kinalalakhan, knowing that many factors are really affecting our development or our culture. So, alam nating ang China is a communist party or communist country, habang Pilipinas democratic country. Because of our historical factors such as colonialism and neo-colonialism of the Americans. Yun. Dahil sa mga yun, political and historical aspect, nababago yung commonalities na meron tayo with China and us. Ayan, so sa China, more on obedience, more on cooperative. Ayan, sa Philippines, more on flood control, more on um, laglagan, Diyos ko, yung ano ngayon, yung hearing sa Senate ngayon, grabe. So, ang sinasabi ko lang is that kahit magkakalapit yung mga bansa and they share some common culture or tradition or practices, there are parts of there are part of their culture na magva-vary talaga dahil sa napakaraming mga factors na nakakaapekto sa kultura nila. Okay? There are actually a lot of sources in which you can analyze the perspective of each culture and country about the self. So meron tayo ditong religion, meron tayo ditong literature, artworks, dances, and even clothings may show us or may show you clues about the self. Mag-focus na lang tayo sa sa clothing. Ayan. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga brothers and sisters natin na part ng Muslim culture o ng Islam religion, mayroon yung mga kababaihan, mga Muslim ladies na nakasuot ng mga damit na halos na tatakpan na yung buong katawan nila, na yung mata na lang nakikita nila, hindi ba? So, their religion was uh, built with the idea or the values of modesty, conservativeness, and gracefulness sa mga kababaihan nila. So, through that values o through that moral codex na meron sila, nare-reflect yon sa mga practices ng mga members o ng mga kabilang sa kanilang mga religion. So kung i-compare mo ito sa mga Kristiyano at sa iba pang mga uri ng relihiyon na meron sa Pilipinas, magkaiba yung yung estilo ng pananamit na meron sa bawat religion. At doon makikita natin kung paano nila pinapahalagahan yung values na meron sa religion nila. So, again, sa mga Muslim ladies, they value modesty, sensitiveness, or gracefulness, habang sa mga kapatid natin sa INC, 'di ba? Kung pupunta sila sa um sa church nila para magsamba, they are strictly following formal clothings na susuotin ng both gender or both sex. Tsaka yung mga ibang religion like Saksi or Jehovah, yung mga dalaga nila o yung mga kababaihan nila, ina-advise nila na magsuot ng mga mahabang palda or mga paano ba yung talagang hindi revealing sa mga sa ibang mga tao. Yung term na hindi revealing. Dapat formal at saka hindi revealing. So kung i-compare mo ito sa mga mas open na religion, mas culturally open na religion such as Catholic or na hindi sila masyadong strict when it comes to how should people dress publicly. Yeah, the advice na na dapat syempre dapat maayos yung pagsuot o mga kasuotan, pero hindi siya masyadong strictly implemented dahil hindi masyadong strict yung Catholic Church when it comes to those kind of behavior ng kanilang mga members. Ang talagang stricto lang sila yung kung papasok ka sa mismong simbahan, hindi ba? So, ayun, just looking at the clothing practices o clothing style ng mga iba't ibang mga kultura, makikita na natin kung ano yung mga values o ano yung mga personality na mas pinapahalaga ng isang tao. Then again, our perception of ourselves is heavily influenced by our culture, particularly, of course, by our religion. For Western thoughts, it conducts a scientific investigations to understand the self and develop theories and difference among them. As we have said a while back, Western philosophers are more rational. They are evidence-driven people. They tend to think and to provide solution based on evidences and reasoning. So, mas pinapaboran nila yung scientific method o yung step-by-step procedure with, of course, the support of evidences, solid evidences, or concrete evidences para mapatunayan na yung thoughts nila are a fact or a reality. So it emphasizes the importance of scientific method of investigation to provide satisfactory answer to understanding the self. So aside from that, the Western culture is what we would call as an individualistic culture since their focus is on the person only. So kung ang isang Western person, tatanungin niya yung sarili niya, um, ano ba yung purpose ko sa buhay? Or bakit ba nga ba ako andito? So kung makikita mo yung question, nakafocus lang siya sa sarili niya. So hindi siya lumalabas sa sa katawan niya. So sa self niya lang, walang pakialamanan yung ibang mga tao, walang impluwensya. O kung may evidence ay influence man, konti lang. Pero everything is because or can be answered by yourself only. So nakafocus lang siya sa person. So individualistic rather than relational approach of understanding the self. That is what the Western thought is emphasizing. So most of the philosophers that we have discussed in our previous lesson fall under the Western thought. So from Socrates to Plato, most especially with Aristotle, who proposed the rational self and the reasoning as part of the self, and most of the modern or most of the modern philosophers that we discussed, David Hume, René Descartes, um, si Monty, sila pa, sila even Immanuel Kant and Aquinas, they are a part of the Western thought. So, dumako naman tayo sa Eastern thoughts. Eastern thoughts raises questions about the ultimate meaning of human life. So, um, it tend to answer the question, what is your purpose in life? So bakit ka nga ba nabubuhay at ano ang koneksyon ng ibang tao sa iyong buhay? So uh, kung ako yung tao na nanggaling sa Eastern regions, ang itatanong ko sa sarili ko, bakit nga ba ako bumabangon? O para kanino ba ako bumabangon? Ako, sabi nga ng Nescafe, hindi ba? So yung pagtatanong natin sa sarili natin is connected with other people. So our purpose in life is connected with our relationship with other people. So they have developed theories of self as they have investigated what it means to be a human being. So don't be confused when we say investigate. Again, they are not using scientific method, bagkus they are using religious or cultural based thoughts sa pag-intindi ng ating sarili. So that is Eastern thoughts. And the self is considered not in isolation, but in relation to others, the society, and the universe. So sa Eastern thought, again, hindi siya nakafocus on understanding the self alone, but we are understanding the self through the reflection or through our connection with others, with the whole society, and even our purpose in the universe. Okay? So Eastern theories are highly practical. They offer a variety of techniques for cultivating a deeper understanding of the self. So they do not utilize the scientific techniques of investigation. Okay? So bakit siya highly practical? Kasi nga kung i-compare mo siya with the philosophies of the Western philosophers, nagsisettle lang sila sa pagkilala sa sarili. So, after that, wala na. You know yourself. That's it. But in the Eastern thoughts, it's not only about discovering yourself, but it is discovering yourself and how is your connection or what is the connection of other people with yourself? So ano yung role mo sa society? Um, what are the expectations of the society from you? So everything is connected with your environment, with the society. So what makes it practical? You are looking at the roles, the expectations, kung ano yung magagawa mo sa society. So, we are knowing ourselves to be more contributory sa ating society or sa ating environment. So, kaya siya nagiging practical. Okay? So Eastern thoughts, it emphasizes harmony, interconnectedness, and duty. It's emphasized the word duty. So again, we are knowing ourselves because we have to contribute to our society. It might be either through harmonious relationship with others and being connected with others. The self is not isolated but part of a larger whole such as the family, the society, and the cosmos. So technically, it's about relational approach. So, dun sa family, di ba kung makikita yun sa Filipino culture natin, ano yung, kung nasa isang community kayo, tapos hindi ka kilala ng isang elderly doon o isang nakakatandang tao doon sa kung nagkaroon kayo ng interaction, tapos ang itatanong sa'yo palagi is sino tatay mo? Sinong nanay mo? Or ano apelyido mo? Okay? So, with that, makikita natin that our family, our family background, kung ano yung family na kinamulatan natin, dun, dun uh, doon ikinokonek yung personality o yung identity na meron tayo. So, for example, ganito, nanggaling ka ang apelyido mo, Singson. Ang apelyido mo, Ortega. Ang apelyido mo, Marcos, Aquino. So, technically, may mga associated na attributes dun sa pangalan mo or dun sa family name mo. So, knowing that you are a Singson, you came from a prominent type of family na being respected by the society, and that they are part of a political driven na pamilya. Parang ganon, no? So, um, hindi maaalis yung pamilya, the family culture into our personal identity. Kasi we Filipinos in general values family, hindi ba? And naging naging part na ng identity natin yung pagmamahal natin sa pamilya, na kahit anong gawin natin ay nakatutok ito o nakabase ito sa ating pamilya. So bakit tayo magtatrabaho? Hindi lang para sa ating sarili. Hindi lang para makakuha tayo ng motor natin o ng kotse, makapatayo tayo ng sarili nating bahay. But we are working kasi breadwinner tayo. Kasi may papaaralin tayong mga kapatid. Kasi kailangan nating mag-give back sa ating mga parents for their with the concept of utang na loob. Um, we are doing things because of our family, because we are a country that values family or family connection. Okay, and then we have society and even the cosmos. So paano natin paano natin maiko-connect si perception o concept of self with the cosmos. So mamaya pag-aaralan natin sa iba't ibang mga religion yung connection ni self with the universe or with the paano ba yung ano yan? With the nature. Ayun, with the nature of the universe. So, dahil dyan, dumako na tayo sa main point ng topic natin, which is the Eastern religions. So, kanina, hindi na tayo masyadong magfo-focus sa Western thoughts kasi napag-aralan na natin yan sa philosophical at saka sa philosophical perspective of the self. Ngayon, mag-focus na tayo sa Eastern thoughts kung saan may pag-aaralan tayong apat na religion na very influential in the identity, personal identity of those members of this religion. Unang-una dito, we have here Buddhism. So Buddhism came or comes from the root word bod, meaning awake. Okay, so it teaches that life is filled with suffering or what we call as dukha. Ayan, madali na lang itong i-memorize kasi pag dukha ka, you are suffering. So which rises from craving and desire. So it says here that our suffering is the result of our cravings and our desire. We are experiencing pain, we are experiencing suffering because of our unlimited desires and cravings for everything, no? And it Buddhism offers a path to end this suffering and to achieve enlightenment, which they call as nirvana. So, the founder of Buddhism is Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha. So, pag sinabi nating Buddha, it means the awakened one. So, yung etymology ng Buddhism, which came from word Bud, which means awake. We need to be awake, sabi ni Buddha. So, paano maging awake? We need to be aware of everything around us. We need to open our eyes. Pero yung nagme-meditate doon, nakaklose, diba? So, nakaklose yung eyes niya because it needs to to reach inner peace, to establish a connection with its inner self. Kasi kung without your connection with your inner self, hindi mo ma-open ang mata mo with your environment. Parang ano lang yan, parang if you do not love yourself, you cannot love others. Parang ganun yung tipo ng concept ng Buddhism sa being an awakened one. So, naniniwala ang mga Buddhism na lahat ng tao ay may kakayahang maging isang Buddha o maging isang awakened one. So may mga napakaraming proseso at pagdadaanan ng isang tao para ma-attain itong klase ng estado ng buhay o ng state of peace and connection with the environment. So, an Indian prince, Siddhartha Gautama is an Indian prince who was born and lived a life of luxury until he decided to leave everything at the age of 29. So si Siddhartha Gautama daw ay nanggaling sa isang prominenteng pamilya, isang mayaman at a royal family. At within the span of 29 years old, hindi siya pinakitaan ng kahit anumang uri ng suffering o ng pain. So lahat sa buong buhay niya puro relaxation, o di ba? Parang nepo baby pala si Buddha dati, no? Na everything is being provided by him, ay provided by his parents. So lahat ng kailangan niya sa buhay ay binibigay ng kanyang mga magulang. So knowing that he is a royal came from a royal family, and maybe because he's a prince, later um he will later became the king of their kingdom. Kaya yung buhay na ipinakita sa kanya sa kanyang paglaki ay puno ng luxurious things, and walang suffering na ipinakita sa kanya. Kaya nung nag-decide siya, or there was a chance na nakalabas siya ng kanyang kingdom, nakita niya ang buong katotohanan ng buhay. As he went through the different places outside his kingdom, nakita niya kung ano ang tunay na kalagayan ng mga tao sa kanyang kingdom. And he also saw that not everything is relaxation, not everything is happiness, but there is suffering. So doon niya na-realize na everyone is suffering, and that the only thing that is existing in the world is suffering. So it teaches that life is filled with suffering o dukkha. So, isa sa mga concept ng Buddhism, sabi nga natin kanina, is that everyone can be Buddha because everyone has a seed of enlightenment. And this enlightenment can be attained through self-reflection, meditation, and being one with nature. So, we need to attain inner peace. Sabi sa Kung Fu Panda 2, inner peace. Ito yung kailangan natin para ma-attain natin yung enlightenment. And for us to become a Buddha. Ayan, so, um, dun sa paglalakbay ni Buddha o ni Siddhartha sa labas ng kanilang tahanan o ng kingdom, may nakita siyang apat na uri ng tao. Una, he saw a sick man. And then, pangalawa, he saw a dead man. Ikatlo, he saw a old man. And panghuli, nakakita siya ng ascetic man. So, yung unang tatlo, doon niya na-realize na ang buhay ay puno ng suffering o ng dukha. Pero doon sa ikaapat, nakakita siya ng parang nito, na parang itong nasa image na nakapresent dito sa harapan nyo. Yan, isang tao na nagme-meditate. Para bang walang suffering na feel o walang suffering na na na-o-observe dun sa postura nung nagme-meditate na tao. So dun yung na-realize na upang maiwasan natin ang suffering, para hindi natin maranasan ang suffering, we need to relax ourselves. We need to meditate. We need to um, knowing that every suffering that we have is a result of our cravings and our desires. He realized that in order for us to be free from suffering, we need to lose, or we need to surrender our cravings and our desires. So, kailangan hindi tayo magkaroon ng mga cravings, ng mga kagustuhan sa buhay, at iasa natin lahat sa environment. Iasa natin ang buong pagkatao natin sa environment. Doon lang natin ma-attain ang tinatawag na inner peace. Without suffering, we have inner peace. And through inner peace, we can be connected with our environment, which is a path towards enlightenment. Ayan. So, according to Buddhism, the self is seen as an illusion born out of ignorance or of trying to hold or control things. Sabi nga natin kanina, because we are craving, we are desiring for everything, we tend to control or hold things. Kailangan ganito, kailangan ganyan, kailangan sakto lang yung ganito. It's our desire to make things like that. Pero, sabi sa Buddhism, let's surrender those micromanagement. We surrender everything. And um try to uh, to focus on ourselves, to focus on our inner self. So upon surrendering the controls, our human-centered needs, thus we are also surrendering our source of suffering. Okay? Again, what is suffering? Dukkha. Ayan. So, and what is enlightenment? That is nirvana. Tandaan niyo yan. Saan tayo? So, according again to Buddhism, there are five parts that compose the individual. So, we have here matter, sensation, perception, mental constructs, and consciousness. And Buddhism says that uh, without one, or if there is one missing composition of the self, a man cannot be called as a man. Kung may isang nawawala o hindi kumpleto sa limang yan, hindi natin matatawag ang isang tao bilang isang tao dahil ang limang ito ay interdependent at kailangang maatin lahat, lahat nito, itong limang ito, para matawag tayo bilang isang totoong tao. Okay? So, we need to have matter. We have to have sensations or senses, perceptions, mental constructs, and consciousness. So, lahat to dapat, dapat ma-attain for us to become a true human person. So Buddhism, as we said a while back, doesn't believe in the idea or the concept of a self or even the concept of a soul. Even religious religion ito, hindi siya naniniwala sa soul. Ang pinaniniwalaan niya is what we call as the reincarnation. So um yes, we do not have a soul, pero our life is in a cycle of rebirth and death. I mean rebirth, the cycle of rebirth. Na after we die, our life is just transferred into other living or life forms, and then we will again continue living our life. So life lang yung meron sa atin, and soul wala tayo niyan kasi we are in a cycle of rebirth. Okay? So, nagpapanganak ulit tayo after we die, and then again, the cycle continues. There is only nothing and all else is an illusion. And they also believe that nothing is permanent but change. Again, they also believe that nothing is permanent but change. Ayan. So, Buddhism also believe in anicca. As we said, it means impermanence. Nothing is permanent exchange except change. Ayan, it means that everything in life is always changing and that nothing lasts forever. Okay? The ideal is to experience nirvana, or what we call as the enlightenment, a state of transcendence devoid of reference. So, nirvana can only be attained if we will be able to free ourselves from the cycle of rebirth. So, kung natigil na natin yung yung cycle of rebirth, hindi na tayo may papanganak again as other life form or other human. Dun lang natin ma-achieve yung tinatawag na nirvana. So, to end or to break the chain or the cycle of rebirth, we need to meditate. We need to find ourselves one with the universe, as we have mentioned a while back. So, kung makikita nyo dyan sa harapan, close yung mata niya pero awake yung kanyang awareness, awake yung kanyang consciousness. And his consciousness is one with the nature, one with the universe. Okay? Ano ba yung kahalagahan nung pag-aaral ng ganitong mga religion? So, this personality, this belief of the Buddhist people is associated with their personality. So kung their actions, their behavior are associated on how will I mean how would they achieve nirvana. So lahat yung ginagawa nila, because lahat ng ginagawa nila ay resulta or affected or influenced by the idea that they need to experience nirvana as inspired from their religion. Okay? Kumbaga sa kumbaga sa Catholic, kung sinabi ng Diyos sa kanyang Ten Commandments na yung mga utos niya doon na hindi papatay, hindi magnanakaw, yung mga tao, sinusunod natin yon because we are inspired, we are religiously driven people and believe that through following the commandments of God, we will arrive to heaven, something like that. So our behavior, our action, supposedly should be aligned with those commandments given by us or given by God to us. Okay? So next, doon nagtatapos ang Buddhism. We have here Hinduism, the religion of Asian people known as the Aryans. It is known as the oldest religion in the world. Yung mga Aryans na ito, sila yung mga nanakop dun sa pinakaunang civilization sa mundo, which is the civilization of the Sumerian sa Mesopotamia, which is now called as Iraq. Ayan. So, sa Iraq, sa Mesopotamia, sinugod sila ng mga ancient Aryans at ang dala nila sa Mesopotamia ay ang religion na Hinduism. So, one of the key thoughts of Hinduism is the Atman or the belief in soul. So, kung kanina sa Buddhism, walang soul, walang concept of self, dito naniniwala sila na may soul. And that soul is called as the Atman. Ayan. So, Atman is just part of what we call as the Brahman. Or I mean, Brahma. Brahma is like the ultimate soul. Like it is the soul of God. That in order for us to reach nirvana, kasi naniniwala din ang Hinduism sa nirvana, which is like the end point of everything. Para ma-reach natin yung nirvana, we need to connect Atman with Brahma. So, kailangan nating makiisa o mapag-isa ang ating Atman sa Brahma. Like, i-connect na lang ulit natin sa sa Catholic para mas relatable sa atin. So, sinasabi ng mga priest na para tayo ay makasama natin ang Panginoon sa kalangitan, kailangan nating baguhin ang ating mga kilos ng ating mga galaw, desisyon sa buhay at maging mabuti tayong tao. So, kagaya sa Hinduism, there are certain rules and beliefs that Hindus need to follow for their Atman to be reunited with the Brahma, okay? Which is the ultimate soul. Ayan. So, again, with that, their personality, their values, their lifestyle, everything that they do, their actions are influence on how they see the religion or how they achieve their goals in the religions. Okay? Sana naiintindihan niyo yun. So the philosophy holds the living creatures have a soul and they are part of the supreme soul, which is the Brahma. Nga lang, confirm ko kung Brahma yun o hindi. Ay no, Brahman with N pala. Brahman. Si Brahma pala ay isa sa sa mga gods, the creator. Tama. God creator ng Hinduism. Brahman is the absolute reality or the supreme soul. Okay? So, ayan. Na i-confirm ko lang. So, Atman needs to be reunited with the Brahman. Okay? Medyo mas rhyming yung Brahman tsaka Atman. Okay? So, Hindus believe that Atman, being an immortal, continues to be reincarnated from lifetime until it is freed and reach a state of nirvana or non-birth. So, kung makikita ninyo, para maging si Atman or the soul of a person, para ma-reunite siya with Brahman, it needs to be reincarnated from lifetime until there's a certain time or there's a certain chance or opportunity for that person to end the cycle of rebirth and to reach nirvana, be united with the Brahman. So paano ba i-free yung sarili natin from the cycle of rebirth? Let's take a look at the concept of samsara and karma. So, yung karma po, ito yung naiisip yung karma. Okay? So, when you say samsara, it is the continuous cycle of life, of death, and again reincarnated. While karma is the universal law of cause and effect. Knowing that karma is the idea wherein your action will come back to you. Parang ganon, di ba? Pag nakarma ka, lahat ng ginagawa mo ay babalik din sa'yo. So, yung concept of karma came from the religion of Hinduism na to connect it with samsara, um, your life cycle depends on your karma na kung yung mga ginawa mo sa buhay mo are mostly good karma, or puro good actions, yung karma mo will be good. Like for example, you will be reincarnated as a wealthier person compared to your previous life. Parang ganon. Pero kung mali or bad yung mga actions mo, which certainly results to bad karma, you will be reincarnated as a cockroach, as an insect, as a poor people, homeless, parang ganon. So, nakabase sa actions mo, yung karma na sasaklawin mo during your reincarnation. And to end samsara, you need to be to live your life full of good karma. Okay? Dapat good karma lang. So, ayan. Okay, so karma can be good or bad, and it does not end with the body's death, but its influence may extend through the incarnation of the soul. Okay? So, ayan. So, that is Hinduism. Again, sa Buddhism, more on achieving nirvana. But Hinduism, they also believe in nirvana, which is non-birth, but the main purpose of Hinduism is to achieve to let Atman or your soul be reunited with the Brahman or the ultimate soul. Okay? Next, we have Confucianism. Came from the Republic country of China. So Confucianism is a belief system belief system and philosophy rather than a religious concept. So mas more on belief system ang Confucianism at hindi isang religion. Though it is considered as religion, it is an ethical and social system based on the teachings of the Chinese philosopher Confucius. It emphasized virtues such as kindness, righteousness, and um, propriety to foster social harmony and a well-ordered society. Ayan, Confucius contribution. So, Confucianism is more on a um, living your life to be a good citizen, an obedient citizen of your society. So, mas nakafocus siya on giving advices, ethical and social advices on how to live your life as a good and obeying individual. So, again, it is more on a belief system rather than a religious-based system. Ayan. So, maraming naging contribution si Confucian sa history and sa modern contemporary world natin. So siya lang naman yung nagdala sa atin ng civil service exam, um mga government codes, and his teaching is the basis of many governments in creating laws, particularly connected to ethical and social system. So, Siya yung nagbigay ng mga guide kung paano mabuhay ng tama at naaayon sa kagustuhan ng ating society. Now, naka-emphasize dito yung how to foster social harmony and well-ordered society. Knowing that Confucianism is more on um, building a good rapport with your society. Okay? So Confucianism can be seen as a code of ethical conduct of how one should properly act according to their relation with other people. It is focused on having a harmonious social life. So, um, imbis na magbigay siya ng mga rules on um, how to achieve enlightenment or how to be a good person, mas nakafocus siya sa pagbibigay ng mga advices kung paano mabuhay ng naaayon at harmonious with other people. So, mas naano siya with reciprocal relationship na give and take dapat na um, kung may ibibigay na maayos yung isang tao sa'yo, dapat may ibibigay ka din sa kanya. More on a reciprocal lang talaga, okay? Kaya nga siya nakilala with the concept of the golden rule. Ano bang meron sa golden rule? Yung you should do ano? Kalimutan ko. Ayan. Yan. There is one word which may serve as a rule for practice for all one's life. That is reciprocity. And he then proposed the golden rule, which is do not do unto others what you would not want others do unto you. So this is um the renowned contribution of Confucius in philosophy and in our history actually. So um actually itong golden rule uh, hin- itong idea ni Confucius hindi na golden rule ang tawag, bagkus ito na yung tinatawag na silver rule kasi ang tunay daw atang golden rule ay yung sinabi ni Jesus Christ in one of his one of the books revealed in the New Testament by the book of Matthew 7 uh 7 chapter 7 verse 12. Jesus says here that therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do unto you, do ye even so to them. So meaning kung ano ang gagawin ng iba sa'yo, yun din dapat ang gawin sa'yo. So, it's like the positive version of the golden rule, which is do not do unto others. Pero kay Jesus, kung ano ang gagawin ng iba sa'yo, yun din ang gawin mo sa kanya. Pero parang mas mas negative ata pakinggan nung 'di ba? Yung ito kaysa yon. Pero this was the according to them is the true golden rule of uh, um it's the true golden rule rather than the golden rule of Confucius. Okay? So again, reciprocity, relationship ang gustong i-propose at i-promote ni Confucius. Ayan. So, um, Confucianism also promotes a hierarchical social order. So isa din siya sa mga nag-propose na dapat may hierarchy within our society. The distribution of power and that social order should be observed. Focused on established role within the family and the society. The self is not seen as an isolated individual but as a relational self, deeply embodied in a network of relationship, families, and society. Kaya kung makikita ninyo, yung mga Chinese people, kung gusto nyong manligaw ng mga anak nila na Chinese, di ba parang napaka-strict ng mga Chinese sa kung magpapapasok sila ng ibang mga lahi sa kanilang mga family. Kasi dapat yung mga yung mga tao na nasa paligid nila is or are similar sa kung papaano sila mag-isip Di ba? So, yung mga pinapapasok nila sa pamilya nila, they are strict na dapat business-minded din or family-oriented din yung tao for them to really accept these people. Okay? Kasi nga, they are more on rational, relational self, and they deeply value the relationship not only within their family but also with the society. Okay? Again, kaya nga Communist Party ang China because they believe with cooperation and obedience with their leaders, okay? So nakatatak na sa isipan at belief system ng mga Chinese yung family ties and kin ties. Therefore, the identity and self-concept of the individual are interwoven with the identity and status of his or her family or community or culture, sharing its pride as well as its failure. Kung makikita nyo, hindi lang sa China to, sa ibang mga regions din ng ng Asia. O, yung mga malapit sa China, we have Japan, we have South Korea. Specifically sa Japan, tingnan natin tong part na to. Status of his or her community or culture, sharing its pride as well as its failure. Kung familiar kayo sa culture ng Japan, yung seppuku ba yun? O tama, seppuku is a Japanese ritual suicide where the samurai kills himself by cutting into his very, or also known as the harakiri, which is translated as belly cutting. So bakit ginagawa ng mga Chinese people, ay ng Japanese people to? Because they believe that when you bring shame or damage the reputation of your family, you are um paano ba yung term? You are like ano um a disgrace to the family, and that you you do not you do not have the right to live or to continue living. Parang giging worthless na yung buhay ng isang tao kung dinamage mo yung reputation ng pamilya mo or nag-brought ka ng shame sa pamilya mo. So, with that, makikita natin na yung identity ng mga tao is really connected or really influenced by the culture or traditions that his environment is having. Okay? Wait lang. Let's continue. Ayan. So, the individual's greatest mission of attaining self-realization is through self-cultivation. And that self-cultivation could be accomplished by knowing oneself or one's role in the society and to act accordingly. So, in order for us to attain self-realization or to understand really the meaning of ourself and the purpose of our existence, we need to have a self-cultivation which only can be accomplished upon knowing your roles or your responsibilities in your society. Okay? So, kailangan mo munang malaman kung ano ka sa society mo bago mo malaman o bago mo matutunan kung sino ka. Okay? So the cultivated self in Confucianism is what some scholars called as the subdued self, wherein personal needs are repressed, subdued, for the good of the many. So, um, kaya nga si Confucius, nakilala siya with the idea of government conduct. Siya yung bumuo ng idea ng civil service, 'di ba? Na kailangan yung mga officials natin, mga opisyal ng gobyerno ay dapat nakafocus sa ikabubuti o paggawa ng mga bagay na ikabubuti ng nakararami o ng associate niya kaysa unahin yung mga pang sariling kapakanan. So that is the idea of subdued self. So um, ito yung gustong ipahiwatig ni Confucius na ang tao dapat refreshed yung mga personal needs niya. So, kailangan hindi yun yung pinapairal niya, kundi ang papairal niya ay yung ikabubuti ng lahat o ng karamihan ng mga tao. At yun yung gusto niyang mangyari sa mga opisyal ng government. So yun yung nangyayari sa China na mas inuuna nila yung kapakanan ng kanilang mga citizens kaysa dun sa kapakanan ng mga sarili nila. Kung iko-compare mo dito sa sa Pilipinas, syempre uunahin ng mga Pilipino yung pansarili nilang interes kaysa sa ikabubuti ng nakararami. From our history, tracing our history, we have that kind of attitude at personality. Hindi lang ng mga nasa gobyerno, pati na rin yung mga normal na mga tao. Lahat sila, pansariling interes lang yung iniisip nila kaysa yung ikabubuti ng ating mga sarili. Ikabubuti ng nakararami. So, again, if we want to cultivate ourselves to achieve self-realization, we need to have a subdued self. We need to repress our personal needs and to prioritize uh, the common good or the things that are beneficial for the many. Okay? Based on Confucian thoughts, moral character is perfected through continuous taking every opportunity to improve oneself in thoughts and in action. Okay? So next we have Taoism. Taoism is an ancient tradition of philosophy and religious belief. Teka nga lang, baka hindi ko na tama. Traditions belief attributed to Lao Tzu. Si Lao Tzu. And so si Lao Tzu po ang proponent ng Taoism. So ang Taoism came from the word Tao, which also can be spelled as Tao, is the fundamental concept and referred to as the way or the path of the universe. Okay? It represents the natural order, the underlying principles that govern all things and flows through everything. So kung susumahin mo yung concept ng Taoism, na babagsak ito sa term na go with the flow o yung katagang go with the flow. Naniniwala si Lao Tzu na dapat sumunod lang tayo sa agos ng buhay. Huwag nating kontrolin lahat kasi lahat ay naaayon sa kagustuhan ng universe, sa kagustuhan ng nature. Okay? So go with the flow lang dapat. Come what may, kumbaga. Parang sa Filipino culture ito yung bahala na culture natin, di ba? Bahala na culture, bahala na si Batman. Something like that. So, ang Taoism din ang nag-propose ng symbol ng yin and yang. Pati itong ang tawag na dito sa maliit na to. Um, Bagwa. Ayan. Bagwa. Dun sa Pungsoy kasi, bagwa. And tsaka yung idea of dragon and a phoenix. Ayan sila, almost yung mga sikat na symbol sa China, sila yung Taoism yung nag-propose o nag-establish ng ganyang art culture. So, punta tayo sa yin and yang, the idea of dualism. Pag sinabi nating dualism, everything has two sides. Either dark or light, good or bad, feminism, masculinity, ayan, cold, warm, everything has two sides, di ba? So, ito yung gustong ipresenta ng yin and yang symbol that in order for us to live in harmony with nature, with the universe, we need to balance. We need to balance ourselves. And to balance it is to achieve harmony. Kasi nga, di ba? Kung magiging harmonious lang yung isang bagay kung balance lahat, hindi ba? Kung um, walang kaguluhan, wala ding masyadong katahimikan, something like that, di ba? So, dapat balance lang. So, that is harmonious living. Again, duality, the idea of duality. So, Taoism is living in the way of the Tao or the universe. Taoism would prefer simple lifestyle and its teaching does aim to describe how to attain that life. Again, simple lifestyle. Simplicity is beauty. Kuna ng DJ Garo, di ba? Simple is better. Yan. So, rather than rather than controlling things, we should focus more on on allowing everything to go with the flow. Ayan, okay? So the self is not just an extension of the family or the community as mentioned by Confucianism, but it is part of the universe, the cosmos, one of the forms and manifestations of the Tao. So we should be one with the universe or the cosmos. Kaya nga, go with the flow lang tayo, di ba? So hindi na dapat natin iniisip ang mga bagay-bagay. Kung ano ang ibibigay ni Destiny, yun na yung dapat na ikatuwa natin. Be grateful about it. Kasi nga, go with the flow lang tayo. That is the way of life. Ika nga, di ba? Ganyan talaga ang buhay. Yun yung concept ng mga Pilipino, di ba? Hindi, okay lang yan. Ganyan talaga ang buhay. So, parang, yung idea ng Taoism at yung Filipino culture may pagkakahalin tulad, hindi ba? Almost all nga almost lahat ng ng nabanggit nating religion may may similarities with the culture of the Filipinos. But then again, as we said a while back, na kahit may mga commonalities tayo, ng magkakaiba o may mga pagkakaiba o varieties pa rin tayo. Kasi nga, the factor of religion, the factor of modernization, and other factors would change these commonalities or similarities, okay? Kaya na-form yung different variations of culture. So the self is an extension of the cosmos and not of a social relationship. They describe the self as on of the limitless form of the Tao. Okay, so our self is just one of the limitless forms of the Tao or the universe. Okay? Yung mga kanta ng asin na ang tao tuldok lang sa universe, 'di ba? It is not relevant, it's not essential dahil um isa lang tayong maliit na nilalang sa napakalawak na universe. So, wag mong masyadong bigyan ng katuturan o ng importansya. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na wag bigyan ng importansya yung buhay mo na dapat magpakamatay ka na or pabayaan mo na yung sarili mo. But Taoism only propose here na we do not need to stress out about to be stressed uh, about everything. So dapat go with the flow lang again. We need to be one with nature, be one with whatever the universe is providing us, okay? Kasi nga we are only part of the limitless form of the universe. Okay? Unlike Confucianism, which also seeks to achieve harmony, but through the following of the tradition and a rigid ancestral hierarchy, in Taoism, harmony is said to be achieved by focusing on simplicity, spontaneity, and naturalness of life. Okay? The ideal self is selfless. Ayan, the ideal self is selfless. Tandaan na yan. The ideal self is selfless, but this is not forgetting about the self. It is living a balanced life with society and nature, being open and accepting to change, forgetting about prejudice and egocentric ideas, and thinking about the equality as well as complementary among humans as well as other being. Okay? Again, Taoism, we don't need to give importance about the self because we only need to have to be one with nature, to have a balanced life with nature, with the society, with our environment, with all the other living life forms here in the world or here in the planet, and to achieve oneness with the universe. So yun lang yung yung idea na gustong iparating ng ng Taoism. So comparing Americans with the Asian culture, evaluation of the self also differs as Americans would highlight their personal achievements, while Asians would rather keep a low profile as promoting the self can be seen as boastfulness that disrupts social relationship. So, kung makikita nyo yung yung Americans, they are more assertive than the Asian or the Eastern people. Pag sinabi nating assertive, kung ano yung nasa isip nila, sinasabi nila, ginagawa nila. So hindi sila natatakot with the social prejudice or the judgment that other people may may impose from them or to them, okay? So kung example nito yung yung mga patalastas. Kung mapapansin niyo dito sa Pilipinas kung may mga patalastas na i-compare yung mga products. Like for example, yung 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 Colgate na lang. Yung Colgate. Saan nila i-compare dun sa patalastas yung product na Colgate? Hindi sa 'di ba? Hindi sa close up, kundi i-compare nila sa brand X, hindi ba? So kung makikita niyo doon, our culture is not about boastfulness na mas maganda itong amin, mas mas better itong amin kasi they are not our at our personality is not like that. Compare sa mga Americans, yung mga patalastas nila, harap-harapan na ipinapakita yung brand name na pinagko-comparean ng product na ina-advertise nila. Like for example, yung McDonald's, i-compare nila sa KFC. Hindi nila iba-brand X yung pangalan ng KFC bagkus i-represent nila yung mismong pangalan dun sa harapan. Just to show that our product is better than the other available products in the market. Yung pinaka sikat na advertisement battle or advertisement um ang dami ng term nila doon. Advertisement showdown yung yung showdown between Pepsi and Coke. 'Di ba? May patalastas dati na yung ginamit yung Coke or I think Coke or yung Pepsi yung ginamit na sandalan ng bata o parang pinatungan ng bata para maabot yung vending machine para mag-release siya ng Coke na brand. So ginamit lang yung Pepsi na sandalan o patungan para maabot ng bata yung Coke na gusto niya. So kung makikita niyo doon, sinasabi doon sa patalastas na mas prefer ng mga tao yung product nila kasi mas maganda yon. At hindi sila nahihiya o hindi natatakot yung producers nung advertisement na yun na ipakita yung brand name nung kakompetensya nila. So, kung makikita nyo, compare and contrast, makikita nyo talaga yung difference ng Western and ng Eastern countries or regions sa lahat ng bagay. Okay? So it is therefore our quest to forget about the self, ay, ano na to? Part ata to ng sige, i-disregard na lang po natin yan. So, Americans talk more about their personal attributes when describing themselves, while Asians in general talk about their social roles that invoke certain traits that they deem positive to their self. So, yung mga Americans, they are more on personal attributes. Mas nakafocus sila sa pag-grow ng kanilang self rather than to abide or provide for their family. Like for example, yung kultura ng mga ano, yung mga kultura ng mga Amerikano na idea nila ng foster care ng elderly nila. Doon na lang makikita natin na hindi sila sociocentric, but they are egocentric. Why? Because um because they are favoring their personal attributes. They have no time, no no interest in taking care of their parents. Kung i-compare mo dito sa Asian countries or Eastern countries, makita mo kahit anong mangyari, hindi hinahayaan ng mga tao na mapabayaan nila yung mga parents nila. They let them stay sa home nila, sa bahay nila. Kaya nga meron tayong extended family na tradition because we are really caring for our family members or our parents. So, isa pa sa mga ma-observe mo sa Asian na imbis na yung sarili nila yung yung i-boast nila o yung ipalanda ka ano ba yung term nila i ipagyabang sa ibang tao. Ano yung pinagyayabang ng mga tao ng mga Asian? Yung mga anak nila. Yan. Yung anak ko ganito, ganyan, yung anak ko lawyer na, yung anak ko nag-aral na. Kung nakakapanood kayo ng mga vlogs ng mga Asian people sa Amerika, like yung emotional damage, yung ano niyan, yung yung vlogger na yon. Some of his video is about boasting their children na na nagpapayabangan sila ng mga anak nila na yung anak nila nung isa nakapasok na sa Harvard at the age of 9, yung isa naman may company na at the age of 2 years old. So, ayun, di ba? So, they are more focused on their family rather than themselves compare sa mga Western countries. Okay? Yung Western countries pala, kabilang dyan yung South America, North America, Canada, uh, European countries, and Australia. Sa Eastern naman, Middle East, mostly sa Asian countries talaga yung focus ng Eastern region. So, in the case of the Philippines, we can also consider the colonization experience for differences and similarities with our Asian neighbors. We might also find variation among provinces and regions due to the geographical condition. Isang example na lang nito ay yung pagkalat ng mga languages all throughout the different regions na sa Ilocos region, Ilocano, but Ilocano din sa Cagayan Valley. Ayan, bakit Ilocano din sila sa Cordillera? Some parts ng Cordillera. Ayun, so magkakaparehas na Ilocano pero may variations. Kaya sabi nga natin kanina, there are many factors affecting the development of culture and also the development of the self. So may mga pagkakaparehas pero may mga varieties, okay? So, yung varieties. So, like for example, yung accent ng mga taga-Kandon, ng Ilocano ng Kandon at taga-Vigan, different, di ba? Yung accent nila mas basa sa Vigan, mas medyo natangken, di gay Kandon. Ayan. Okay? Nabasa, Vigan, natangken, di Kandon. Okay? Now, the Western culture, sorry for this one. Ano natin? The Western culture is what we call an individualistic. Naulit na ata to. Westerns also emphasize more on the value of equality, even if they see that the individual can rise above everything else. Asians, with their collective culture, put more emphasis on hierarchy as the culture wants to keep things in harmony and order. So more on, because individualistic ang mga taga-Western, um, ang yung idea, mas binavalue nila yung idea ng equality. Kasi, um, they believe that everyone has the right to, rise above everything, that everyone must have the right to succeed, to become the better version of themselves, something like that, to improve themselves, make become a better version of themselves. So, mas binavalue nila yung equality rather than obedience na meron sa mga Asians. Knowing as we are a collective culture, mas pinapaboran natin yung hierarchy. We know that if we value the power of authority, because authority, the control, keeps things in harmony and order according to the different belief system and religions that we have discussed a while back. Okay? So if we differentiate, ayan, so sa dimension, frame of reference, there is a separation between philosophy and religion in the part of Western. Sa Eastern naman, religion and philosophy are intertwined. Example of schools of thoughts, belief systems for Western, we have scholasticism, rationalism, empiricism, which is the basis is the senses, human senses and experiences, and phenomenology. The basis is phenomenology or experiments, di ba? Scholasticism naman, nakafocus more on knowledge, philosophy and knowledge. Alright? Yung tawag nito, um, ev uh, immortal knowledge, yung hindi nagbabagong knowledge, ganon. Sa Eastern naman, more on religion, Buddhism, Hinduism, Confucianism, and Taoism. Ano yung mga, sino yung mga notable philosophers? We have here in Western, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, René Descartes, John Locke, and many more. And in Eastern, we have the different founders of the religions we have discussed. Sources of knowledge. Sa Western, they made use of reasons rather than faith to pursue wisdom, while for Eastern, they trusted intuition and is often associated with religious belief. As we have reiterated a while back, modes of cognition, analytic, and deductive. Pag sinabi nating deductive, from a whole idea, they divide it into smaller ideas. So, nagbabawas, deductive nga, di ba? So, from general to specific. Pero pag sa Eastern, they are more inductive or synthetic, meaning from small ideas, specific ideas into a general whole idea. Okay? Emphasis, distinction, and opposition, while for Eastern is commonalities and harmonies. Sa universe and life, linear sa Western, circular sa circular sa Eastern. Bakit naging linear? Kasi wala silang idea ng rebirth. Walang, kung namatay ka, yun na, end game na yun. Pero sa Eastern, circular kasi may cycle of rebirth, of reincarnation. View of self, mas egocentric ang Western, mas sociocentric naman ang Eastern. Theological view, monotheistic, isang Diyos, habang ang Eastern naman, many gods. Poly polytheistic o pluralistic. Ideals, self-actualization through personal growth. Take note, personal growth. While Eastern naman to achieve a balanced life and find one's role in society. And then lastly, individualistic sa Western, sa Eastern naman, collectivistic. Okay, so that ends our discussion on the Western and Eastern uh, thoughts about the perspective of the self. If you have any question, just message me sa group chat natin for any inquiries o mga hindi naintindihang parts ng discussion. So, that's it. Next meeting, we will be discussing about psychological perspective of the self. Thank you very much.